IMED and Luxottica's customer base. So now that base of customers, now what Luxottica and Essilor, I'm assuming, will do, no reason they wouldn't, is they will package to that optometrist. They'll come to that optometrist and offer a package that talks about frames, the best portfolio of frames, the best lenses. Essilor has always, it is the gorilla in the lens category. So they're bringing a vertical model that takes care of the optometrist soup to nuts, and should hopefully, as a result of the synergies, be able to offer better value to that optometrist and net to the consumer.
Understood. But out of this, we said that the VSP had 80 million subscribers to insurance lives, and IMED has 80, and IMED had like 40 million. So, but I'm just trying to, what I guess I'm trying to understand, because lens crafters today, because they use lenses from Hoya and from Essilor, so the view has always been quite an easy fix just to change over like everything to Essilor, and that's clearly a revenue synergy. But out of that IMED insurance, the 40 million, are there a lot of them still going to independents, but at the independents, then they're sort of forced by a Luxottica frame, if you know what I mean. So it's like two synergies here. One is from the lens craft chain itself, and one is from outside.
It is both. I mean, if you look at their IMED's network, the majority of their network is composed of Luxottica retailers, the lens crafters, Pearle Visions of the world, while VSP's network is predominantly the 40,000 independent optometrists. So that's the uniqueness. But yes, Luxottica still has many independent optometrists on their network. It's partly driven by Luxottica has a large wholesale business, but ultimately it's driven by having a portfolio of brands that the consumer, if I'm going to be in the business, if I'm an optometrist and I'm going to sell eyewear in my practice, I better have some of these brands, or I'm not going to, at least if I'm going to operate in the mid to premium market, if I don't have Ray-Ban, if I don't have Oakley, Ray-Ban and Oakley typically make up 50 to 60% of your market share in any retail or independent type practice. So if I don't have those two brands, I'm out of luck. And those two brands are only going to happen if you buy Luxottica.
I hear you. Okay. So therefore you get the synergies both from the lens crafters and from the independents due to that. But is it possible to sort of think in terms of numbers how much that is out of the fourth? Like, is some sort of calculation one can make of how big that opportunity is? Or
I would just be guessing, but yes, from if going back to the retailer versus non-retailer, categorizing the 40 million lives, I would say that 25 to 30 million of the 40 are shopping at retail, at the retail portion of the network of IMED for Luxottica, and the 15 to 10 million are the independents. But as you said before, recognizing that all those retailers, the lens crafters, Pearle Visions, the Loris, and so forth of the world that are Luxottica owned, they still historically were buying lenses from Zeiss and Hoya and all these other places. So now they'll be exclusive to. So Essilor's gains may not be as big synergy-wise to the retail organization as it would be to the non-retail, but it's still there. There's still significant synergies.
I hear you. Okay, very interesting. And apart from that synergy, do you think there's a lot of other synergies that the two companies will have when they combine? And I mean, I think there's been some sort of I'll go ahead.
I would say they should. I mean, I'm looking at this from an outside perspective, but supply chain is probably one of the most significant. If you looked at, and I've looked at this as a result of my consulting business, but look at where their distribution and manufacturing facilities are globally. There's redundancy. In many geographies, there's redundancy. Now, the question is whether one of the facilities that is redundant there is large enough to fulfill the manufacturing or distribution